Let us begin this PhD Biology examination with a silent prayer. So once again, good morning to all the members who have gathered here. A warm welcome to each and every one of you for this PhD Biology examination of Mr. Selas Cherian, defending his thesis titled The Impact of ESG Performance on Firm Performance, a comparative study of BRICS and G7 nations under the guidance of Dr. Sriranma. We are honored to welcome Dr. K. Ravishankar sir, an accomplished academician and researcher in management, as the external examiner for today's PhD Biology examination. I also extend in absentia warm welcome to Dr. Shoni Sebastian, Director Center for Research, Dr. Sebastian K.A., Associate Director Center for Research, Dr. Uma B.R., Associate Director Center for Research, Dr. Tommy K. Kallarakal, Dean, School of Commerce, Finance and Accountancy, Dr. Biju Tons, Director, School of Commerce, Finance and Accountancy, Dr. Karthikeyan Prakasam, Associate Dean, School of Commerce, Finance and Accountancy, Dr. Soumya B., Head, Department of Professional Studies, Dr. Satish Kumar B., RAC Member and Assistant Controller of Examination, and Dr. Nilofer Hussain, RAC Member. I also take this opportunity to extend welcome to Dr. Sriranma Devi ma'am, the Research Supervisor of Mr. Selas Cherian. I also take this opportunity to welcome all other faculty members, fellow research scholars, students, family members and friends of Mr. Selas Cherian for this PhD Biology examination. To brief about Selas Cherian PhD journey at Christ University. Selas Cherian registered for his PhD program in December 2020, successfully completed his coursework, defended his synopsis, and fulfilled the university publication requirements, and finally reached the stage to defend his thesis. My best wishes to you as you take this important step in your academic journey. To brief about the proceedings of this biology examination, following my welcome address, we will proceed with the formal conduct of the PhD biology examination. I will invite the external examiner to take over the session and commence the proceeding by inviting the scholar to present his doctoral research work. After the presentation, the floor will be open for questions and clarifications from the audience. This will be followed by a detailed interaction between the scholar and the external examiner, during which the examiner will raise specific queries and provide observations. Upon the completion of the discussion, the results of the defense will be formally announced. Subsequently, Research Supervisor will be invited to share a few reflections on the scholar's research journey and their collaborative experience. Following this, scholar will deliver an acknowledgement speech expressing gratitude to all those who supported him throughout the research process. Finally, we will conclude the PhD Biology examination with vote of thanks by Associate Director, Center for Research. I once again welcome each and everyone gathered here. Thank you so much, and now over to the external examiner.
Thank you, Gautam, for your brief introduction. Good morning. Good morning, sir. So, I'm very happy to be a part of this PhD Biology examination. So, I'm Dr. K. Ravishankar from University, Chennai. And as Gautam said, so the procedure can follow. So, initially, we will start with the presentation of Mr. Selas Cherian, followed by that the questions from the audience, then from myself and the questions from other co-examiner for the thesis, and followed by the declaration, then vote of thanks. So this I invite Cherian to take over the session. Thank you.
Good morning, respected dignitaries, esteemed examinees, my supervisor, distinguished faculty members, fellow researchers, friends and family. I warmly welcome you all to my PhD defense presentation. It is an honor to share my research work titled The Impact of ESG Performance on Firm Performance, a comparative study of BRICS and G7 nations. This research journey has been a time of learning, hard work and growth for me. My study looks at how environmental, social and governance practices affect company performance, the role of corporate reputation and how results differ between economic blocks and industry sectors. I look forward to sharing my work with you all. and having a meaningful discussion on my findings. Thank you for joining me on this important day in my academic journey. The introduction to ESG. ESG stands for Environmental, Social and Governance. It helps business to be responsible, transparent and sustainable. Today, investors, customers and society want business to be more honest, responsible and caring towards environment and the people. So companies that follow ESG can manage risk better, work efficiently, attract investors, build a good reputation and grow stronger in the long run. The three pillars of ESG. Environmental score looks at companies' impact on nature like energy use, waste management and saving resources, carbon footprint, etc. Second one, social score focuses on how a company treats employees, customers, suppliers, creditors and the community. And governance score ensures fair leadership and transparency and protects shareholder rights. These are the major milestones. In 60s to 70s, rise of socially responsible investing, excluding sectors like tobacco, alcohol and weapons. Then 1987, Brundtland Commission introduces the concept of sustainable development. 2000, launch of the UN Global Compact outlining principles for sustainable corporate behavior. 2004, UN report Who Cares Wins officially coins the term ESG. 2006, launch of UN Principles for Responsible Investment. 15, Paris Agreement signed pushing climate change action and environmental responsibility globally. 2020, ESG investing surges with global ESG assets surpassing $40 trillion. 23, ESG becomes mainstream, regulatory framework strengthens. The motives behind the study. Use of resources has caused problems like pollution, climate change and resource shortage. Now the world is focusing on sustainability. Rise of ESG practices. Companies now follow ESG rules to protect environment, society and sustain their business for a long run. Growing importance of transparency. Stakeholders want transparency in how companies prioritizing environmental, social and governance actions. Disparities in ESG adoption. Developed countries have made significant progress in ESG adoption, while emerging countries like BRICS require greater research and attention due to their diverse regulatory framework and unique socio-economic conditions. Corporate reputation. A good reputation depends on intense ESG activities, which can also increase companies' performance and value. Why I have chosen BRICS and G7? The G7 comprises advanced and developed nations, including the USA, UK, France, Germany, Japan, Canada and Italy, where BRICS includes emerging economies such as Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. BRICS is gaining global importance and is considered a potential competitor to G7 in international affairs. In 2014, BRICS established the new development bank to finance sustainable development project, which is similar to the World Bank. As of 2024, BRICS accounts for 45% of the global population, 35% of the world GDP as per purchasing power parity, 16% of the global trade and 29.3% of the land area, whereas G7 nations represent 10% of the global population, 30% of the world trade and 15% of the land area. BRICS nations have surpassed G7 countries in total GDP when measured by purchasing power parity, as per a report published in Times of India, April 9, 2023. So these are the major theories I have referred. First one, stakeholder theory. Stakeholder theory emphasizes that business must consider the interest of all stakeholders, including investors, employees, customers, and communities, rather than focusing solely on shareholders. ESG aligns with this theory by promoting responsible environmental, social, and governance practices, ensuring long-term value creation and stakeholder trust. Legitimacy theory. Legitimacy theory suggests that companies must align their operations with societal expectations to maintain legitimacy and public trust. ESG practices helps firms to fulfill these expectations by demonstrating commitment to environmental responsibility, social welfare, and strong governance, thereby enhancing their legitimacy and stakeholder acceptance. Signaling theory suggests that companies uses corporate reputation as a signal to convey their quality, reliability, and trustworthiness to stakeholders. A strong reputation acts as a positive signal to investors, customers, and employees, reducing uncertainty and enhancing confidence in the firm's long-term success. Agency theory. Agency theory explains the conflict of interest between managers and shareholders, where managers may prioritize personal goals over maximizing firm value. Implementing strong governance mechanisms such as effective board oversight and performance-based executive incentives allays managerial actions and shareholder interest, leading to better decision-making and improved firm performance. Review of literature. For this study, a total of 648 articles were initially identified from reputed databases such as Scopus, Web of Science, Request, Clarivate Index, Google Scholar, etc. using keywords like ESG, firm performance, financial performance, market valuation, sustainability, corporate reputation, G7, BRICS, ROA, ROE, ROC, Tobin's Q, etc. Applying this, the Prisma model along with specific inclusion and exclusion criteria, the selection was narrowed down to 247 articles which were thoroughly reviewed for the study. So the identified articles were classified into categories based on ESG, firm performance, relationship, corporate reputation, and geographical focus on G7, BRICS, etc. Research gap. Limited comparison between developed and emerging markets. Most studies on ESG and firm performance focuses on developed countries with a limited emphasis on emerging markets like BRICS. This creates a gap in understanding how ESG impacts performance differently in developed and emerging nations. Then the mediating role of corporate reputation has not been fully explored. Corporate reputation is essential in linking ESG score with firm performance. However, its role hasn't been deeply explored, especially when comparing regions. Statement of the problem. Most ESG research focuses on developed economies, leaving a gap in understanding its impact on firm in emerging markets like BRICS, where economic, regulatory, and institutional contexts differ. Although ESG practices are increasingly important, it is still unclear how the impact of ESG on firm performance differs between the service and manufacturing sectors. The role of corporate reputation in mediating the ESG firm performance relationship is underexplored, especially in comparing developed and emerging markets. Scope of the study. Comparison between G7 and BRICS nations. The study focuses only on developed and emerging economies without considering other nations. Corporate reputation as a mediator. It examines corporate reputation as a mediator between ESG and firm performance without exploring other potential mediators. Also, this study examines how the impact of ESG practices on firm performance differs between the service and manufacturing sectors, providing insights into sector-specific dynamic and implications. Conceptual framework. The conceptual framework illustrates the relationship between environmental, social, and governance sectors and firm performance, with corporate reputation as a mediating variable and economic bloc and industrial sectors as moderating variables. Objectives. To analyze the direct impact of ESG score on financial firm performance, to evaluate the impact of individual pillar scores of ESG on the firm performance, to study the mediating role of corporate reputation in the ESG firm performance relationship, to investigate the moderating role of economic bloc, G7 and BRICS in the ESG firm performance relationship, to analyze the moderating role of economic blocs in the ESG firm performance relationship mediated by corporate reputation, and to investigate the moderating role of industry sectors, service versus manufacturing in the ESG firm performance relationship, and to analyze the moderating role of industry sectors in the ESG firm performance relationship mediated by corporate reputation. Research hypothesis. Hypothesis 1. There is a significant positive relationship between ESG score and firm performance. 2. There is a significant positive relationship between environmental score and firm performance. 3. There is a significant positive relationship between social score and firm performance. 4. There is a significant positive relationship between governance score and firm performance. Hypothesis 5. Corporate reputation mediates the relationship between ESG score and firm performance. Hypothesis 6. Economic blocs G7 versus BRICS moderates the relationship between ESG score and firm performance. 7. The mediating role of corporate reputation in the ESG firm performance relationship is moderated by the economic blocks. Hypothesis 8. Industry sector, service versus manufacturing moderates the relationship between ESG score and firm performance. 9. The moderating role of corporate reputation in the ESG firm performance relationship is moderated by the industry sectors. Research methodology. Research design, quantitative research. The study uses a quantitative method to analyze the impact of ESG score on firm performance in different economic blocks and industry sectors. It focuses on numerical data to identify patterns and correlations between ESG scores and firm performance metrics like ROA, ROC, ROE, and Tobin's cube, aiming to establish statistically significant relationships. Research approach, empirical approach. This study analyzes numerical data to explore the relationship between ESG performance and firm performance in the service and manufacturing sectors across G7 and BRICS nations using PLSM to identify patterns, correlations, and differences, ensuring an objective and data-driven evaluation of the variables. Research time horizon. The study adopts a longitudinal design collecting data over a 5-year period, 2017 to 21, to examine the relationship between ESG score, corporate reputation, and firm performance. A longitudinal design involves tracking the same variable across multiple time domains, enabling researchers to observe changes, identify causal relationships, and understand the dynamic nature of studied phenomena. Sampling design. From the top equity indices of G7 and BRICS nations, ranked by the market capitalization, a total of 782 companies were initially identified. Following the exclusion of firms with incomplete or missing data, the sample was refined to 526 companies. The final dataset comprises 5 years of observations for each firm, resulting in a total of 2,630 firm level data points. For further analysis, the sample was classified by industry sectors, with 350 firms categorized under the service sector and 176 firms under the manufacturing sector. Structural equation modeling. Direct effect analysis. The direct effect analysis in this study evaluated the relationship between ESG performance and firm performance across G7 and BRICS nations, focusing on both the overall ESG score and individual pillars, environmental, social, and governance scores. Using PLSM on 5 years of the firm level data, the analysis measured the strength and significance of these direct effects on financial indicators. Then the mediation analysis. Mediation analysis was performed to examine the role of corporate reputation as a mediator in the relationship between ESG score and firm performance. The analysis helps determine whether corporate reputation acts as a bridge through which ESG initiatives influence companies' financial and operational outcomes. Then the moderation analysis. The study examines the moderating role of economic blocks, G7 versus BRICS, and industry sector, services, manufacturing, in the relationship between ESG and firm performance. Economic conditions, regulatory framework, and market maturity vary across the blocks, potentially including how ESG factors affect performance. Similarly, industry characteristics such as operational processes, stakeholder expectations, and ESG visibility differ between services and manufacturing sectors, which may shape the extent of ESG impact on outcomes. By analyzing this dual moderation effect, the study provides insights into whether the ESG firm performance relationship strengthens or weakens depending on both economic context and sectoral environment. Model fit indices on the relationship between ESG and firm performance. For SRMR, values below 0.08 indicates an acceptable fit, while for NFI, values closer to 1 suggest better fit. In this study, the overall model demonstrates the best fit according to these indices. Formative measurement model evaluations. A correlation coefficient of 0.7 or higher confirms that the formative model is both effective and valid, indicating strong convergent validity. Additionally, the VAF values in this analysis are all below the threshold of 3, showing that collinearity is not a concern among the formative indicators. The direct effect of ESG on firm performance. Hypothesis 1, there is a significant positive relationship between ESG score and firm performance. The alternative hypothesis 1 is accepted since the ESG score has a moderate, positive and highly significant impact on firm performance, indicating that strengthening ESG initiatives can directly enhance performance without relying solely on moderating factors. The direct effect of environmental score on firm performance, hypothesis 2, there is a significant positive relationship between environmental score and firm performance. The direct relationship between environmental practices and firm performance is not statistically significant, leading to the rejection of alternative hypothesis 2, suggesting that environmental initiatives alone may not enhance performance without integration of other ESG dimensions or mediating factors. The direct effect of social score on firm performance, hypothesis 3, there is a significant positive relationship between social score and firm performance. The direct relationship between social practices and firm performance is not statistically significant, leading to the rejection of alternative hypothesis 3, indicating that social initiatives alone may not enhance performance without integration with other ESG dimensions or indirect pathways. The direct effect of governance score on firm performance, hypothesis 4, there is a significant positive relationship between governance score and firm performance. The alternative hypothesis 4 is accepted as governance shows a significant positive effect on firm performance, indicating that enhancing governance practices such as transparency, accountability, and ethical management can directly improve performance. ESG FP firm performance relationship mediated by corporate reputation, hypothesis 5. Corporate reputation mediates the relationship between ESG score and firm performance. The alternative hypothesis 5 is accepted as ESG does not have a statistically significant direct effect on firm performance. Instead, the indirect effect via corporate reputation is significant, indicating that corporate reputation fully mediates the ESG firm performance relationship, with ESG influencing performance only through enhanced reputation. Comparative analysis of ESG firm performance relationship, G7 versus BRICS nations. Hypothesis 6, economic bloc moderates the relationship between ESG score and firm performance. The alternative hypothesis is rejected as ESG positively influences firm performance in both G7 and BRICS, with a notably higher effect size in BRICS, indicating greater competitive and financial benefits in emerging economies due to the factors like rapid market growth, evolving regulations, and increased stakeholder pressure. Comparative analysis of ESG firm performance relationship mediated by corporate reputation. Hypothesis 7, the mediating role of corporate reputation in the ESG firm performance relationship is moderated by economic blocs. The alternative hypothesis 7 is accepted as mediation through corporate reputation is substantial and statistically significant in BRICS but absent in G7, indicating strongest stakeholder perception and reputational leverage of ESG efforts in emerging markets like BRICS. The comparative analysis of the ESG firm performance relationship, service versus manufacturing sectors. Hypothesis 8, the industry sector moderates the relationship between ESG score and firm performance. The alternative hypothesis 8 is accepted as ESG has a positive and significant effect in the service sector but not statistically significant effect in the manufacturing sector, indicating a clear and more consistent impact in services due to the stronger stakeholder engagement, regulatory attention, and visibility of ESG outcomes. The comparative analysis of the ESG firm performance relationship mediated by corporate reputation. Hypothesis 9, the moderating role of corporate reputation in the ESG firm performance relationship is moderated by industry sector. The alternative hypothesis 9 is accepted as ESG fully mediates firm performance through corporate reputation in the service sector but shows no mediation in manufacturing, highlighting that sector context influences how ESG drives performance, with service benefiting more from reputational effects. So this is my hypothesis evaluation table. Out of the 9 hypotheses, 6 were accepted and 3 were rejected. Findings of the study. The overall ESG impact. ESG performance has a positive and significant overall impact. on firm performance, with governance emerging as the strongest and most consistent driver across both G7 and BRICS nations, as well as service and manufacturing sectors. Environmental practices show a positive but statistically insignificant effect on firm performance, while social practices have no significant direct impact, indicating that their benefits may be indirect or require longer time frames to financially measurable. Role of corporate reputation. Corporate reputation fully mediates the ESG firm performance relationship in the overall sample BRICS nations and the service sector, but shows no significant mediation in G7 nations and manufacturing sector. Economic bloc differences. The direct effect of ESG on firm performance is positive and significant in both G7 and BRICS, but stronger in BRICS, reflecting greater competitive and reputational gains in emerging markets. Sectoral variations. ESG has a significant positive direct effect in the service sector, but not in the manufacturing. Mediation through corporate reputation is present in service, but absent in manufacturing sectors, indicating sector-specific ESG value pathways. Model strength. The model which indicates indices SRMR, NFI, confirms an excellent fit and formative measurement evaluates show high convergent validity and no multicollinearity issues. Suggestions. Prioritize governance frameworks. Firms should strengthen governance mechanisms such as transparent reporting, ethical leadership, and board diversity, as governance is the most consistent driver of firm performance. Integrate ESG with reputation management. Since corporate reputation fully mediates the ESG firm performance link in many cases, firms should align ESG initiatives with brand building and stakeholder engagement strategies. Leverage ESG for competitive advantage in emerging markets. BRICS firms should aggressively adopt ESG practices to capitalize on higher returns and reputational gains in rapidly evolving markets. Customize ESG strategies by sector. Service firms should enhance ESG visibility through customer and community engagement, while manufacturing firms should adopt long-term ESG roadmaps that integrate environmental innovation and supply chain sustainability. Strengthen ESG disclosures. Maintain credible, consistent, and transparent ESG reporting to avoid greenwashing risk and build investor confidence. Encourage policy and regulatory support. Governments, especially in emerging economies, should provide incentives for ESG adoption such as tax benefit, green finance access, and recognition programs. Limitations of the study. Data, scope and period. The study is limited to a firm level data from 2017 to 21, which may not fully capture long-term ESG impacts or recent policy and market changes. Geographical coverage. The analysis focuses only on G7 and BRICS nations, so findings may not be generalizable to other economic blocs or regions. Sectoral representation. The classification into only service and manufacturing sectors may not overlook ESG dynamics in other industries such as agriculture, mining, or technology. Variable selection. Firm performance is measured using financial indicators such as ROA, ROE, ROC, Tobin-Skew, which may not capture non-financial or long-term sustainability outcomes. ESG measurement. ESG score and corporate reputation data are sourced from secondary databases like Bloomberg, which rely on reported information and may be influenced by disclosure quality or greenwashing. Moderation and mediation context. The moderating effect of economic bloc and sector and the mediating role of the corporate reputation are context dependent and may vary with cultural, regulatory, and market conditions. Discussions. Governance. General ESG literature expectation is governance enhances transparency, reduces risk, and improves performance globally. Findings from our study: governance is the strongest driver of performance, so there is no contradiction. In case of environmental factors, general expectation is environmental initiatives improves long-term value, but as per our results, weak impact due to high compliance costs in developed economies. Challenges in the assumption that environmental factors always are value, as these investments can raise short-term costs. Social factors expected to enhance performance, but negative or insignificant impact seen a cost burden in as per our results. So contradiction. social initiatives aren't always immediately beneficial because they require significant financial investment and their positive outcome often only materialize in the long run. Then Tobin's Q, G7 expected to show higher market rewards for ESG. BRICS shows slightly higher Tobin's Q than G7. BRICS outperformed G7 in the market response. Overall ESG impact, all ESG factors expected to enhance performance. Governance, dominates, and environment and social score are context dependent. Challenges the assumption of equal ESG impact as while ESG significantly affects firm performance, the influence of its individual pillars varies. Conclusions. ESG performance positively influences the firm performance, with governance emerging as the most consistent and significant driver across both G7 and BRICS nations, as well as service and manufacturing sectors. Corporate reputation plays a critical mediating role, especially in BRICS nations and the service sector, translating ESG initiatives into tangible performance gains. The ESG fair performance relationship is stronger in BRICS nations than in G7, reflecting higher stakeholder responsiveness and competitive advantage in emerging markets. Sector-specific differences show that ESG has a clear and consistent positive effect in the service sector, while manufacturing shows no significant direct or mediated effects. Effective ESG strategies requires integration of governance, environmental and social dimensions, and alignment with sector and market context to maximize impact. Scope for future study, exploring additional variables, investigate factors beyond ESG such as innovation capabilities, employee engagement, supply chain sustainability, or governance structures that may influence firm performance. Alternative measures of firm performance. Future studies could use additional financial metrics such as price to earnings ratio, earnings per share, etc. to measure firm performance more comprehensively. Industry-specific analysis. Examine how ESG firm performance relationship differs across sectors such as energy, tourism, technology, etc. I have published 2 Scopus Index articles related to my PhD research and presented multiple papers at national and international conferences. Question analysis.
Amount spent or what regarding ESG?
ESG score.
So you have taken ESG score from
Bloomberg as it is.
As it is, you have
Yes.
taken. Okay. So this is a suggestion for going forward. I mean, you have mentioned that corporate reputation is not in G7, and it's not that impactful in G7 compared to BRICS. So maybe could be a scope for further research.
Sure.
And ESG, each of the separate criteria, I mean, individual, it is not being studied. Maybe that also could be taken as a further research.
Sure.
Thank you, audience. Thank you, professors. Now, the questions are from examiners, right? So, few questions were asked already by the examiners, so by the faculty members, so I'm skipping that. So, mainly the corporate reputation, so why you have taken and how it is measured was one of the question by the examiner, so I'm skipping that. And why did you compare, that question was also raised. Why did you compare BRICS and G7 nations? What motivated you to go with block-wise comparison? Can I have a few words on that?
Yes, sir. So I have chosen BRICS and G7 as a BRICS I chosen as the for developed countries. As a representative of developed countries, I have chosen G7 BRICS because all the countries in the G7 economic bloc is developed countries, and BRICS I have chosen as the representative of emerging nations because all the 5 countries in the BRICS is emerging nations. So we are planning for a developed versus developing emerging nations comparison. And as per the review of literature, we have identified that in most of the studies are conducted in developed countries only, and even ESG adoption is also done in developed countries, but in case of emerging nations, ESG adoption is also less. That is the reason why we have go for such a comparison.
Okay. Then next question by examiner: how did you ensure the reliability and validity of your measurement?
Through We have done VAF and all those SRMR.
SRMR is model fit.
Yeah, model fit.
That table was not given.
Yeah. So that's this convergent validity the professor was asking.
Okay.
So for that you need to have a table just. Right?
Yes.
So that is missing in your presentation, but it is in the thesis.
Yes.
And why did service sector firms show stronger ESG firm performance relationship than manufacturing firms? Why?
Maybe due to the in case of service firms, they were directly interacting with the direct customers. But in case of manufacturing, there is a lot of employee management and waste management. All these things will come in case of manufacturing. So ESG mainly relates to environment protection, all these things. So pollution may be higher in case of manufacturing firms, but in case of service, they were offering services directly to their clients. So such kind of employee management or waste management, all these things, carbon footprint, everything will be less in case of service. That may be the reason.
Education is a service or not?
Service.
Are you not providing any? Are you not creating any pollution?
Pollution is creating comparatively less.
So hotel is a service or not?
Service.
Are you creating pollution or not?
Pollution is
So you are not justified with the answers. Okay. So related to this, the question is you have taken 500 plus companies, right? So in that the majority are from service sector.
Yes.
And say 300 plus from service sector and 50%, yeah, 350, then only for 150.
176.
Yeah, so 150 to 200 from service. So when you are comparing, is it reasonable?
So actually I have taken each one indices from all the 12 countries from G7 and BRICS from the top indices as per market capitalization we have chosen, and all the companies indexed in these indices we were chosen. Only we eliminated companies with incomplete data.
So
We have not eliminated any other companies.
mean to say there is no equal ratio like manufacturing and services.
As per the indices, there is no such equal ratio. So that's why we have chosen the indices as it is.
Okay. So if you are to extend this research, what additional variable or context would you explore?
Future.
Scope. You have mentioned some.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can recollect.
Yeah, these additional variables like investigate factors beyond ESG such as innovation capabilities, employee engagement, supply chain sustainability, governance structures that may influence firm performance. Then other measures of firm performance. Now we have measured the firm performance with ROE, ROC, ROA and OpenSQ. We have many other measures for measuring firm performance, and even all these measures are related to financial performance. Even other measures other than financial measures also we have to consider.
Yeah.
And even in these industry-specific analysis, even just like Sir said, country-specific analysis, all these.
Yes. Okay, so as rightly asked, Professor, so you have taken the consolidated data of ESG. Instead, that is the another question from another examiner. You can go, that is specifically with environment, with social and governance, so that you can get some exact data who are good in environmental, in terms of environment, in terms of social, in terms of governance. So likely if you do a study in future, that could be good.
Sure.
Any specific suggestions, because India now gearing up towards this startup ecosystem, isn't it? So do you have any suggestions for startups?
So even startups, definitely they need to be more transparent. Then only they can attract more investments, and even they can capture the public confidence.
So yes. Now I invite our external examiner, Ravi Shankar sir, to announce the results.
Okay, so again, once again, good morning to all present here. So it's a very interesting topic. When I received the thesis, I'm very much interested to evaluate this thesis because normally this is trending now. So many countries they are eyeing on this ESG factors to decide how the companies are performing. So India is keen on Make in India as well. We are also very keen on eyeing on many countries instead of relying on one or two countries for exporting our goods. So, this US tariff and all giving way to us to export to different countries across the world. So a recent visit to many countries by our Prime Minister is also an example. So this study, I make it clear that the study is a worthwhile study, and it is really very important for these days and in future too. So this study may be a base. So I congratulate the convener, the guide, Dr. Serama Deema. So because without guide support, any scholar cannot complete. So she has guided very well, because I have also seen the way he has taken the research and the way he has explored the data from Bloomberg, and I would like to congratulate Rice University to make such kind of ecosystem for the scholars. So based on the thesis, based on the presentation what he has made, based on the way he defended the questions from the audience, professors, scholars, and the examiners, with the consent of the examiner's convener, I can declare that Mr. Selas Cherian, sorry. Cherian in my mind, but Selas I'm missing, sorry. So Selas Cherian, yes, so he can be awarded based on the university norms. He can be awarded with the doctoral degree in management. Okay, so from this moment, he may rightfully declared as a doctor. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Serenma Devi ma'am, Research Supervisor of Selas Cherian, to share her journey with us.
This is the very good time for me. I'm standing for my scholar. Actually, the way how he is causing us to be very immersive. Actually, time I think get allotted to me. No? I'm the second supervisor to him. He's allotted from Dr. Suresh. Unfortunately, he left from our institutions in the meanwhile, so that he got allotted under mine. By the time he has different idea, the topic, what he want to do, that research is going to be completely different. That is behavioral bias. I think how he get transferred from behavioral bias to ESG. We come across with a lot of problem in collecting the data. Suddenly, SEBI has given the rule, we should not use this ESG data for your study. Then we come across with, we write a complaint, we write things, and we got the disclaimer. So many hurdles during the progress of the PhD. Starting from the data collection, starting from the title, right? We have come out with a lot many titles, and we gone for the RAC discussion. At last, we come out with one title and we go with the data. And data collection is also not said to be that much easy. Even if you go with the primary data, that may be easy for him. Right, we can go with the 500 set of data by sending the questionnaire, we can collect the data, but it is not that much easy from Bloomberg terminal also. After putting all the effort, collected the data, consolidated, get ready for submitting for analysis, SEBI given the rule, you should not use the ESG data directly from the Bloomberg. Oh God, that's a minute, right? We lose a complete confidence. Again, we come out with what is the remedy for that. We are not going to use the future data, only the past data what we have available with us, so that we come across. And then the power of resilience with the Selas Cherian, that I admire, really. So this is the thing from Selas Cherian. I learned a lot from him many the times, and he written the thesis the second time. Because first time, Kumasankar sir might know about it, because we get the consultancy from him also. We did everything in Amos with the structural IBM Amos software. What the problem is, no? The uniformity of a data is the problem. So without having a uniformity of a data, we could not able to proceed with Amos. He did complete research, every analysis is over. If it was accepted by the RAC member by that time, by the way, we could award it Selas Cherian even 6 months before. Okay, just because of that, we restarted that analysis part, right? So it is not a one-time fight. From the title till the data analysis, we fighted multiple times. So each and every word of the thesis we know well. Okay, that's why I can able to defend on behalf of Selas Cherian to sir. So that much of fluency we have in many the days. We sit till with 11, 12 and we worked together. So I admire the way how he is working and what is the resilience he has. Okay, I'm very much happy, my dear son, to declare you as Dr. Selas Cherian. Thank you for this opportunity to me because he is the second scholar of me under Price University. Thank you very much, sir, and thank you very much to all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Dr. Selas Cherian to give his acknowledgement speech.
It's okay.
I take this opportunity to thank all those who have supported and guided me along the way. My heartfelt gratitude goes to Dr. Father Varghese, Chancellor, Dr. Father Jose Sisi, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Anil Joseph Pindo, Registrar, and Dr. Shoni Sebastian, Director, Dr. Father Joseph Varghese, former Director, Center for Research, for their leadership and encouragement. I thank Christ Deemed to be University Bangalore for their academic guidance and for providing a rich and supportive research environment. I am grateful to Dr. Tommy K. Kandarakel, Dean, School of Commerce, Finance and Accountancy, Dr. Karthikey Prakasham C., Associate Dean, Dr. Amalanathan S., Head of the Department of Commerce, Dr. Saumya V., Head of the Department of Professional Studies, for supporting my work at the institutional level. I extend my heartfelt thanks to my external examiners, Dr. Gopalakrishnan G. and Dr. K. Ravishankar, for timely examining my thesis and providing feedback and suggestions on time. I especially thank Dr. K. Ravishankar for coming here and conducting the examination. My deepest gratitude goes to my supervisor, Dr. Saranma Devi R., for her exceptional mentorship, constant patience, and believing in my potential. Throughout this journey, she has been a source of guidance, inspiration, and encouragement, always willing to share her knowledge and expertise. Her constructive feedback has helped me refine my work and think critically, while her support has given me the confidence to overcome challenges. She has not only guided me academically, but has also motivated me personally, shaping my growth as a researcher. I will always remain grateful for her trust, commitment, and the invaluable role she has played in my success. I am grateful to Dr. Sadish Kumar B. and Dr. Nilofar Hussaini, members of my Research Advisory Committee, for their timely feedback and valuable suggestions. I also thank Dr. Uma VR and Dr. Gautam R. for reviewing my progress and encouraging me throughout the journey. I sincerely thank Dr. Harmandeep Singh, Dr. Uma Shankar M. and Dr. Akhil P. for their valuable advices and suggestions, and Dr. Abhishek Singhania for patiently clarifying my doubts about smart PLS. I also extended my warm regards to all the faculty members for their presence, encouragement, and support throughout my research journey. I extend my sincere thanks to James sir, Simi ma'am, and Rahul sir from the Center for Research, and Srikumar sir, the librarian, for their continuous guidance, support, and encouragement. I would like to express my heartfelt guidance to my dear friend Sobin for the exceptional kindness and generosity he has shown me during the important phase of my PhD journey. His willingness to open his home and provide me with a comfortable place to stay has been immense help, especially during times when I needed peaceful and welcoming environment to focus on my work. I would like to sincerely thank my friends Aravind, Arun, and Hanifa for their invaluable support in shaping the methodology and refining various aspects of my research. Their constructive inputs, thoughtful suggestions, and willingness to discuss ideas at different stages of my work have been instrumental in strengthening the quality and clarity of the study. Their academic insights, combined with their constant encouragement, have not only enhanced the technical aspects of my research, but also motivated me to approach challenges with confidence and determination. I remain deeply grateful for their time, effort, and unwavering support throughout this journey. I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to my family and my in-laws for their unwavering trust, love and support throughout this journey. Their constant encouragement and belief in my abilities have been a source of strength and motivation. I sincerely thank my dear friends and families who traveled all the way from my hometown to be here today. Your presence means so much to me, and I truly appreciate the time, effort, and love you have shown by joining me on this special day. Your support has made this milestone even more memorable. Now, I want to thank my pillar of support, my wife, Desma, for always being there for me through every ups and downs of this journey. Her constant motivation, patience, and understanding have given me the strength to keep going even during the most challenging times. She has encouraged me when I felt low, celebrated every small achievement, and stood beside me with unwavering faith in my abilities. I truly believe that I could not have completed my PhD without her love and support. This achievement is as much as hers as it is mine, and I will always be grateful. Last but not least, I offer my heartfelt thanks to the Almighty for His endless blessings, grace, and guidance, which have carried me through each stage of this research journey. His strength has given me the determination and purpose to complete this dissertation. Once again, I thank each and every one of you. Thank you.